What's your dark liquid?
Manhattan. But like a suit.
Oh, you made a man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I know.
the student has become the other student.
Mm-hmm.
Harsh critics, man. It's fair after last week. Let's be real.
Yeah, yeah.
Just have to get the ginger ale perfectly flat.
Yeah, sadly, we just Did we finish the ginger ale, or did you
I
just
poured it
pour
out. I poured out that sad ginger ale.
I'm doing this for us.
I did not even check
There's
the
a
expiration to see how old it was because that only would have made me sadder.
No,
Because it
would've
was
been
it
real
was
sad.
both old and like sitting in a warm closet for far too long. So
It did have that warm closet taste. That's a nice.
Right. Like the
It's
ice
like
that's been in the
aging in an
freezer
oak
for too long.
barrel, but warming in a closet.
Warming it with a bunch of scallions.
Stop.
All right.
That sounds like the worst.
Make a sanity check.
Stop.
Do any reports from our fans this week?
Oh, from the fans. No, well, so I'm hoping Beefy Jerky's still with us after thinking that we were done. We'd finished it all up. There's so much more excitement.
The last fan.
Now, we have some very dedicated fans. They are great. They enjoy keeping up with the show. Let's see what we're.
It's been full of twists and turns. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is not a
raspberry blue.
Not a very straightforward.
That's right.
Not a very straightforward campaign. So I feel like if I wasn't running it right now, I would be doing the same, which is like watching along to be like, how the heck do you dissect this? Yeah, we're cruising along. The first episode has 711 views.
Wow.
Did you say 700,000?
So I'm basically monetizing the account now, so put in my viewers. Yeah. No, we're being sponsored by
Snapple.
Snapple reached out. Snapple and Canada Dry have both reached out about
and now Lord Hobo.
And now Lord
That's
Hobo.
right.
New king of the beers.
Yes. So no, that's fantastic. And like, subscribe, and smash that like button. And
can you just show smashing it one more time?
Smash it.
Smash it. Like a giant.
Like everybody has a big red button.
Big red button. Like. And the siren goes off in the house. New like. All right.
We should rig one of those up.
That would be nice. Yes, in the middle of the night. All right. So yes, last time had been a session to bring on board Charlie Croker, safecracker extraordinaire, or at least safecracker ordinaire. Croca.
Yeah, I guess with his stats, he was.
Yeah, he's kind of an ordinaire. Yeah.
The ordinaire.
And Charlie had been brought back into it after being part of the ill-fated Cell V, along with Michael Whitwer and Elias Barbas, who have been variously subsumed into various elements of whatever's going on. And Charlie was, let's say, encouraged, not so subtly, to rendezvous, to meet up with the rest of you. To what purpose, you don't know. To tell his story, share what he knows, but also out of some amount of sort of personal agenda, which is to connect with fellow Delta Green members who might have the ability to contact Cell A, to go back and get in touch with the conspiracy, to make them aware of what had transpired. And so a couple things just to reestablish where we are is in a Dunkin' Donuts. Or maybe out back, because he had decided to make a call on Jacob's phone, secure phone. But you had come up to speed on Charlie's story, had understood at this point that one of the sort of peculiarities that Charlie's been enduring for the past few weeks, insomnia, or I shouldn't say insomnia, more of a fear of sleep that he's been coping with, combined with a rather persistent book that's been staying with him. So I thought I might actually share what that book looks like. He's maybe pulled it out and showed it to you all at some point. But it's this lovely little volume in red leather with a familiar, at this point, familiar symbol. And Charlie folds it out at one point and is showing it to you, Willow, and under your breath you sort of mutter to Jacob, have you seen the yellow sign? And without even realizing it, but you both see that he sort of has this with him, and he claims it's refusing to go away, which is an odd way, you think, of describing a book, but at this point, you don't take anything for granted. And you made a call. You made a call to Cell A, left a message, gave some information, and got in return instructions that you were to appear for a debrief, along with all materials related to the investigation, sort of physical evidence, etc., at the Trivellino Mall in Uxbridge. And I think I had remarked that the Trivellino, at least for Charlie, was a place he sort of at least recognized casually as a mall that had been there's no longer in operation, and so you were supposed to appear at 11 p.m. the following evening at the Trivellino, which is right, about 50 kilometers southwest of Boston, along State Highway 146. And yes, that is sort of what you know at this point. You do also know, and it's important to point out, that you also received this note, this letter of sorts, delivered to you a bit unwittingly by Charlie. This is what he had been required to deliver along with meeting you. This note, seemingly from Abigail Wright. This note that is fairly, how to put this, fairly insistent, is fairly direct, and lines up in a way with what you heard from Timothy Bale, the resident of the Dorchester house, that Abigail's note to find J.C. Lintz at Hotel Brodelbin. Go now, find the hotel, the labyrinth, the author, his bottle, the city, the lake, its shadow, the battle. Then the party, the dance, the girl in blue, the one singing, nothing is true, except out is through. Love and kisses, Abby.
Out is through, out is through, out is through.
Exactly. Nothing else is true. And that is, and Bale's warning as well, that you've been sort of trapped in this gravity well, been trapped in this orbit around whatever it is, the play, the King in Yellow, whatever this phenomena is. And he as well echoed the sentiment that there is no true escape except to fly so close that you're able to spin yourself right out of orbit. But you have to skate right along the center to do so. Otherwise, you'll be trapped. You'll be stuck. This will never end for you. It's hard to reconcile, though, with the fact that you're sitting in broad daylight back in a Dunkin' Donuts in Dorchester. A bunch of people in tracksuits coming in, coming out, getting their
Iced
coffee.
coffee.
That's right, getting their iced
In
coffees.
tracksuits.
They're Dunkachinos. They're culottes, Willow, right?
Always a culotta.
Always a
So
culotta.
refreshing.
And it doesn't seem possible, you know, and your mind sort of pushes back against this sense that it could be true. But as you're sitting there, Willow, you are sort of gazing out the window of this Dunkin' Donuts across the road, and you see there's one of those Oriental rug stores that you never understand how they stay in business, but you know, they always have the going out of business or sale signs out front, but they never actually close. And you're watching, and you haven't seen anyone go in or out, but your eyes are sort of tracking, just looking lazily across the sign and the rug that's hanging in the window. And suddenly you see this shape sort of moving out from behind the rug, like walking across, and you realize it's sort of this odd bobbing motion to it. And you maybe look a little bit closer, and you swear that the figure has strings
Oh no.
up beyond the top edge of the window. And the figure sort of proceeds past the window. And you just blink your dry eyes, wondering if what you saw is what you saw, or maybe it's just a relic, a remnant of whatever experience you had over the last few days.
I turn and look at them to see if anybody was looking in that direction. Just like nobody.
Going like this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No
I'm
one
like-
saw some marionettes
You
at
see
the
me like throwing away the book again?
Right away, yeah, just flipping it into the trash.
Just like dozens of copies he's throwing.
He hands one to one person, she walks away, pulls out another copy. He's like, what the hell here?
The bottomless book pile. I love it.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Don't like
So
it.
unfortunately, I'm a little preoccupied. I did not.
Understandable.
Yeah, Charlie actually is preoccupied because Charlie, you had gone up back to the counter to order a new drink, new coffee. So like you do, you go up, you put your order in at the register, pay, and then you go over to wait for them to bring it over to the pickup area. And it's funny because the person who took your order, she goes over, I'm assuming you didn't get a culotta, you got like a coffee, like a black coffee, but you get cream and sugar.
I don't want to. Oh yeah, you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've said that before.
Yeah, exactly. The 2 scoops, and
No, single cream, single sugar.
single cream, single sugar, beautiful.
1 and 1.
And you see, she gets it right. 1 single cream, single sugar. Then she walks over, and then the oddest thing happens. She's standing there looking out, holding the drink, and you're waiting there. You're expecting she's gonna like see you and like hand it to you. And she's looking, and her eyes like look right at you, but then just pass. She's looking, and she turns, and she like says something to the other clerk, and she's like, "Where the hell did that guy go? Do you see him?" She looks back. She just puts it out on the counter and like, turns. Goes back to the register.
I feel like Bob's getting a little aggressive with us right now.
While he was standing there?
He's just standing right there. A few feet back, like respectfully, right? You're not just like at the counter, but like a few feet back, but just right there. You're the only person who's waiting. Your coffee's right there. I don't see what the problem
And
is.
I pick up whatever's next to my coffee.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like a jelly stick, and he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like aggressive.
Exactly. All right, so
Don't like it. Don't like it.
that's fair. And yeah, you three have about, it's 11 p.m. tomorrow. You're supposed to head out to the Tripolino, but you have time.
Sorry, did you say 11 p.m.?
PM.
We have to be at the mall?
Yes.
I remember that. That's not good. That's even worse.
The abandoned mall.
Yeah.
We're basically saying, like, check us in. Like, go ahead, Travis.
Here we come. Well, what should we do? What should we do? What time is it now?
Let's say it is. It's probably like mid-afternoon.
So is there anything we can do to feel more prepared than we have in the past for potentially getting into trouble? Because we're no longer quite as gullible as we all, or I guess when I went in, but I got trapped, right? When I went to sleep, so I really don't feel like I did much wrong. But from what you told me about the three of you,
Yeah.
or four of you, right? Three of you answered the invitation and probably got trapped. Is there anything we can bring or do to help us prepare for potentially heading into danger? Because it could be Delta Green or it could be just another trap. Like, while you're thinking, I'm just going to throw away a couple more books.
The universal gesture for, I don't want this.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. I'm full up on books.
I have too many copies. Just.
Stuck to my hand.
We visit the local sporting goods store because, you can always find wonderful things there at the sporting goods store.
The sporting goods.
I feel like you might want to go to an art supply store and get yourself another Swarog or whatever it was. Mark 1? What was it?
Swarog, that's right.
Swarog.
So now it's going to be the Swarog Mark II.
Am I still into old books?
Yeah, you are. You still have. You check your phone. You still have your phone, and
I had written to my friend Bibliophile
99.
99.
Yeah, you did, and back before the Bibliophile 99 actually reached out because they said, "Oh, I thought you were gonna be on for that the live chat with the author. What author have you been sort of following? So you've been really into sort of the old book scene again. Your sort of fascination or obsession. So maybe it was an archivist with some rare books library or something like that. You missed it.
It's the Latimer translation of the Odyssey.
The Latimer translation of the Odyssey. That's right.
It's the best translation. I mean,
I've heard that.
Yeah, have you heard that?
I've heard that is the best translation of that particular Odyssey. So Bibliophile 99 is asking what's going on.
It's nice to have somebody checking in. That's good.
Exactly. Do you want to
to
respond or no?
Well, I'm not as keen to like wander off and check for a bookstore right now as I was a while ago when we got here.
Maybe you're thinking rugs now?
Yeah, there's a great deal across the street actually. Um,
There is a great deal across the street.
Yeah, there is a great deal.
It's a great deal. It's just so much.
Buy 2, get 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jacob had thought about a sporting goods store
Mm-hmm.
or hardware
Because I'm a
store.
sporty type.
Sporty type. That's right.
Yep.
Any other sort of destinations or stops you'd like to make? Anything you'd like to follow up on, or Charlie? Well, I should say Jacob. You have work that you maybe need to check in with and just sort of situate depending on how much more PTO you're taking. Charlie, you have your girlfriend and her dad to follow up with because you've completed this errand, call it whatever it is, that had been required at this point. So you also have a down moment to sort of reach out.
So maybe I'll check in and see if they received any further communication from the
law firm.
The King firm.
Yeah, so that's easy. You give a quick call and your girlfriend answers, and she Stella says, Stella. She says, "Oh, thanks for doing it. Like, really appreciate it. I don't know what it's about, but it made my dad feel much better that you took care of it. Thanks so much. Hey, we haven't heard anything else. Are you okay? Like, when are we going to see you? Because remember, you've been staying apart from them.
And
can I see you? Can you tell me where you are?"
Well, I have the time, so I mean, if we don't mind splitting up, I could go visit them briefly because I don't know what's going to happen. So I could.
Yeah, you gonna meet up? You gonna meet up with them at?
You two want to meet my girlfriend? She's real.
She's real.
Totally real.
She's not a marionette.
He claims.
Not yet.
Well, I'm checking in with work. I'm wondering if they could tell me who the phone that dialed us about the Uxbridge was registered to.
Yeah, so you call in. Make a bureaucracy check for me.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a bureaucrat.
I want to see what
Do it.
Let's go. Take a pass. Character sheet. Bureaucracy.
Now is when Jacob gets court-martialed, even though that's not a thing for a State Department employee. Somehow.
Clink.
On a fumble of 99.
You fumble?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so you ask them to sort of just check. It's easy enough because all the numbers are sort of tracked, and you ask maybe one of the younger sort of departmental managers who you've mentored over the years, who owes you a few favors, and you're like, yeah, just any chance you could check into it. They're involved with some of the Foreign Service security details, so they have access to the phone logs, and they take a look and they see, yeah, that number, it looks like it came through from the Library of Congress switchboard. That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, Jacob, are you going to be back in? Like, I have this your report I need to submit, and I was really hoping I'd be able to run it by you, just get an extra set of eyeballs on it.
Well, I'm wrapping up what I have here in Boston. I'll be heading back to New York probably tomorrow, and
Okay.
I should be in the office within the next couple of days.
Okay. Great. Maybe, yeah, I can maybe catch you then. All right. That's great. Perfect. And so you've sort of made your excuses for now. And Willow, you said you're not replying to Bibliophile 99, right? Or are you?
Mm.
Do you have any
So
questions?
he expressed concern because I had missed the event about the Latimer translation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's notoriously it's my favorite translation.
You've been planning for over a month and a half since it was announced. This discussion with the translator of the Latimer.
I'll fire off a quick reply because I mean I'm clearly getting the sense that like people are taking care of their business.
Yeah.
So I have to sort of maintain, like a level of like I have things going on.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to be the only one.
Boop, 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 boop.
Hello,
my
millionaires.
dirt phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Rusty.
Rusty.
No, I'll fire up a quick reply
Yeah, what are you saying?
and say
It's your favorite part where I make you make excuses.
oh man, I got called away in a forestry emergency.
The trees just weren't growing.
Yeah, you know what happens if you make too many excuses? The person you make the excuses to gets killed off.
That's a fair point.
It's been done. You
Spoken
shot
from experience.
Yeah, you shot it off.
Bobby's dead. She's kind of dead. She's mostly dead.
I'll say I so wanted to be there. Can he tell me what I missed?
Yeah, and you say, "Tell me what you meant. Tell me what I missed."
Yeah.
Yep.
What was that?
Perfect.
That's it.
That's beautiful.
I have like a
like
signature
that.
at the bottom too that has like a quote in it.
It does actually have a quote.
Oh boy.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Why did I do that?
Oh.
It does
Bibliophile,
have.
don't read this email.
Does have a quote. Let me show you what that quote is.
Oh god.
I don't know if you remember. If you don't, do you remember putting this in your
Oh no.
I've done
email
this to
address?
myself
Do you want to
yet
read?
again.
Do you want to read this to me?
Where it says the play.
Mm-hmm.
Camilla, look then beyond the footlights of the moons to upturned faces lost in wonder. Why here? Why now? Casilda, so they might know the joy of the author's intent and the certainty found in an exit well deserved. From The King in Yellow, Act 2, Scene 2.
Make a sanity check for me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a deep cut right there.
That's a deep cut. You got to really know the material to pull that for your email signature.
You seem to recall it was maybe something about, I don't know, the journeys of Tacitus or something like that. But
Whoa.
yeah.
That's a humble.
That's a humble. Yeah, you've sent off the message and sort of are looking at the sent message and seeing this signature. You're staring at it, and you, for the life of you, you can't remember changing it or having that be there. And it's like you want to claw back that message, anything that would have an association with this play. Which is also residing like inside the breast pocket of Charlie Croker right now, for this you just for the sake of sort of the shock of seeing this thing there, you lose 1 point.
One.
But one.
A mere single
A
point.
mere single point. What possibly could go wrong?
It's
18.
fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's all fine. So yeah, so Charlie, you're heading off to meet up with your girlfriend, right? Jacob, are you going to take Willow with you to the store?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a little trip to the another hardware sporting goods store.
The old sporting goods store. And Charlie, by the way, I mean you know, especially if you are sort of drawing on your connections with like Handsome Rob. Like you know that if you wanted a weapon or something like that in a pinch, you could get it.
Oh, yeah, maybe Handsome Rob should drive us out to Uxbridge.
Oh yeah. Do you want to tell everyone else who this Handsome Rob is? You bring it up to them. You're like, I know a guy, Handsome Rob.
Maybe you've heard of him.
I sure haven't.
Nope.
No, don't know him. Doesn't ring a bell.
I don't think this should rise to the occasion of needing him, but I'm gonna probably give him a call, have him drop off one of his vehicles with maybe some firepower in the trunk.
Yeah.
So that, if worst comes to worst, maybe we're prepared.
So it's wonderful.
To the extent we can.
I have some rules for that. I would love you. So you're asking for both a car and some weapons.
Am
today.
I asking? I guess I am asking.
Yeah, you are asking. That's what I heard.
Yes.
That's what
I
I
heard that wishes are doors.
Yeah, wishes are doors. I know.
I mean, I've got contacts.
When you're not in a Dunkin' Donuts, when you're in the freaky upside down world.
Fine.
Yeah.
Maybe Handsome Rob doesn't like being asked at the last minute for 24 hours warning.
That's how Handsome Rob operates, really. I don't think he's like an order ahead kind of guy. He's more of a just-in-time delivery.
So, I'd like you. So, Handsome Rob. Let's see. How are we? What skill are we using here? I feel like this could maybe be either a persuade or.
He is one of my bonds. Just remember that.
He is a bond. No, I know.
We're buddies.
He's one of your buddies. I want to see a persuade roll here.
Persuade.
He's so persuasive.
Yeah.
We'll see.
50-50, what could go wrong?
Oh.
So he
Oof.
so you like are on the phone arguing with him and you're like, fucking Rob, like how many times have I done jobs for you where you need me to come through and now you're going to tell me you can't do this for me? And perfect. Instead of persuade, make a charisma roll for me. So hit that charisma button.
God. It's gotten that bad that I need to rely on my charisma.
Yeah. All right. So Rob in the end is like, Jesus Christ, Charlie, fine. I'll get you to the fucking car. And yeah, I'll put whatever I have in there. Jesus, don't call me about this again. I'd like you to roll a d4. 1d4.
Am I loosening the bond?
I would like you to reduce your bond with Handsome Rob by 3.
A 3?
Mm-hmm.
He was not very charismatic, was he?
No.
Or persuasive.
But he says he's going to get you a car and some guns. So in the end, who really is coming out ahead, right?
I feel pretty good about the deal.
Willow's
Your
enthused.
squirrels would have helped us with.
I know, that's true. Like Squirrel Squad.
Yeah. All right, great. So Charlie, you're gonna head off to meet up with.
I made
with
all these
Stella.
promises to my new friends. Great car, handsome Rob will, take care of us, and it's all going to crap.
Yep.
All right.
Who knows? It's gonna be a 2002 Civic that he shows up with.
That's probably a solid car.
That's probably
That'll
right.
get
It's
us all the way
incredibly
to
reliable.
Oxford.
It's going to get you
Fine.
there. I don't want.
That's why they're among the most stolen.
Exactly. I don't want to lose Honda as a sponsor of this stream.
And I'm sure that the one that he's giving us is legit, not
No,
stolen.
exactly. No, absolutely. I'm sure none of the firearms either. I'm sure they'll be properly licensed and up to date. So Jacob and Willow, you head over to. What do we think? Does Dick's Sporting Goods exist at this point?
I think so.
Yeah. You head over to a Dick's Sporting Goods. Let's say that, as opposed to a Sports Authority, which I think even then has
Boo.
gone out of business. Ceased operation. Technically still alive, but mostly selling things off at that point. So what are you looking for? What are you getting when you go to Dick's?
Fishing line. I want fishing line.
Yeah. What are you getting?
Fishing line.
Oh, fishing line. You want some fishing line? Well, yeah, of course they got fishing line. You got fishing line for days.
Maybe a knife, like a real knife, opposed to like a putty knife.
A real knife. Yeah, a knife and fishing line. Yeah, absolutely. They got you covered.
Do they have like a cool looking vest? Like a fishing style,
like a vest with lots of pockets. Maybe one of those
pockets.
Fluffy things you can sort of stick your lures into.
That's it.
Yeah, they have one of those. Would you like that, Willow?
Like to add it to the order.
Yeah, absolutely. You do get that. And Jacob, while you are browsing the knives, you you see that one of them actually sort of catches your eye.
It starts talking to you.
It's here we go. It's unusual. It sort of stands out because it's longer and sort of a more serious sort of blade than you would sort of normally expect to see. And you're looking at it, and you realize that why it is unusual. It's because it's not like technically just a knife. It's actually a bayonet. And you're examining it, and you're looking closely, and you're looking at some of the markings, and you have a strong feeling that it is, in fact, a World War I Russian-style bayonet with sheath. The picture sort of doesn't do the scale justice, but it's rather long, looks to be wickedly sharp, and it's just sitting out there amongst all the other weaponry. Sort of standard flip knives and things. Not flip knives, but pocket knives and things.
Does it have a price tag on it?
It does. Very reasonable, in fact.
Oh.
All right.
You know, as they say, the only way out is through.
They do say that.
They do say that.
I think that was in my email signature, actually.
Run them through.
Step on through to the other side. Do you partake in this special deal?
Sure. I mean.
Fantastic.
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Exactly. It's such a deal. A collector's
I can't
item.
resist a bargain.
Yeah, exactly. Charlie, you head to you head to. Where are you meeting them? Are you meeting them at their house, or are you meeting them somewhere else? At the bar?
Maybe the bar.
Yeah. You head to the bar and your girlfriend like jumps into your arms and gives you a big hug, and her dad comes around from around the bar, like slaps you on the back, says thanks. It's a very heartwarming scene. Like the regulars who were there sort of raise their glasses to you. They recognize you, and so you're able to have that moment with them. Go ahead and roll 1d4 for me.
This is how many drinks I've had.
Yeah, right.
Not bad.
You regain 2 points of sanity from this. The normality of this encounter. The sort of you've been away. You've sort of been in forced seclusion for a number of weeks, and coming back to this, it feels so normal, so right, and it sort of bolsters you. But you're also sort of standing there a moment talking, and there's this one of the regulars, Murray, down at the end of the bar, who keeps giving you these odd looks, like didn't sort of raise the glass, didn't sort of cheer when you came in, and keeps looking at you funny. And this is a guy who, you've been coming in here for God knows how long. Fixture, like retiree, always here. You know his story in and out. And he just keeps giving you these looks, squinting his eyes at you. And finally, you're looking at him, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you looking at?"
What's wrong?
What do you mean it's wrong? I don't like you staring at me. Just in here having a nice drink.
I'm not staring at you. Why are you so grouchy all of a sudden?
Grouchy all of a sudden. What the fuck do you know? Coming in here like you own the place. Who do you think you are?
I'm friends with the bartender. That's who I am. I don't know why
Friends
you're
with a
mad.
bartender? I don't know you from Adam. I'm in here every single day. This is a guy, you know his whole story. He knows your story.
You don't know Charlie Croker.
Yeah, I know Charlie Croker. What of it?
You don't recognize me?
No, I don't fucking recognize you. Who the hell are you? Get out of my face. I don't have time for this bullshit. And he sort of turns back to his drink.
Charlie Croker.
I tell John, the bartender, the Stella's dad, to shut him off. He must have been drinking too much.
Oh, he's like, oh, Murray. He's just grouchy. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Sure it's nothing. Just having a bad day. All right. Now, do you all, like, Charlie, are you expecting you'd spend, like, dinner, sort of stay the night? Like, are you going to meet up with them again the next day? You've exchanged numbers, so what do you think the plan's going to be?
Yeah, I think that's, since we don't have to go till the next night, that's probably, unless I hear from them, just going to hang out with Stella and, hang out at the bar, and then maybe stay overnight there, and then meet up with them first in the morning after maybe getting the car from Handsome Rob.
So
that happens tonight.
He does actually pull up. It's late at night. It's like 10 p.m. and he sort of squeals up, and it is a Nissan Altima that he has secured for you. And he sort of gives you this At first, it's funny when he pulls up. He sort of gets out, and he's looking around up and down the street for you. And he had called you at this point. And you're sort of waiting outside. He's sort of giving you suspicious eyes. And you walk over, and you know, say hello to him, and he sort of gives a start. He's like, "Oh, yeah, Charlie. Yeah, couldn't recognize you there in the dark. Sure. Yeah, here are the keys. Iron's in the trunk." He seems really thrown off. It's like, yeah, like I said, don't be trying to call for this shit like at the last minute with me again. And he sort of gives you the keys and walks off down the block.
All right, if he's already walked off, nothing I can do. I can't figure it out right now. So,
in the trunk, you find that there are 4 handguns of varying sorts, maybe a couple revolvers and a couple automatics. I don't know, and then one shotgun and appropriate shells, ammo for them all.
No World War One vintage moisten the gaunt for me to attach that bayonet to.
You know, sadly, Jacob's not there, so
Yeah.
no odd. No odd rifles of any sort.
Historical rifles, yeah.
Yeah, sadly.
More operational pieces.
Yeah.
He respects me enough to give me guns that actually work, hopefully. All right, so I think I'd take the car and drive with Stella maybe off to her place, and then once in the driveway, back in, pop open the trunk and try to make sure everything's serviceable and sufficient ammo and all that prep work.
Yeah, no, seems, and you go through it, seems good. The weapons seem in decent repair. Like the car is fine. Like it's maybe a couple years old, but you suspect it's probably been stolen and sort of repurposed. And knowing Handsome Rob and his reputation and his connections, but that's where you sort of land. Is he's at least come through for you. And Willow and Jacob, what sort of accommodations do you find? Do you just find a hotel?
Yeah, and I think we've been staying at like a motel kind of thing, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think it was going to be like, into the evening, just walking around in his black socks and his underwear with that sword.
Yep.
Or with that net, trying to like practice his gut hanging out, kind of.
Like swishing through the hallways,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
riposte. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just trying to pretend he knows what he's doing with a bayonet, but
yeah,
really doesn't.
And he finds himself switching into almost without realizing it, but then sort of catching yourself. You're switching into you're using some Russian, but then also switching into French and then Tartessian as you're sort of riposting up and down the hallway to refill the ice bucket. Willow, what are you up to for the evening?
Well, I think because our rooms definitely have those adjoining doors, I'm listening at the door and hearing lots of strange sword fighting noises, and it sounds exactly like that.
Fantastic.
I think though, no, but I am like, I'm gonna make sure my my fishing vest is
That's how
stocked.
you prep before a big operation.
Yeah.
lots of lures for the Maul.
That's right. That's right. No, but I have like a Swiss Army knife and
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know, rope. I don't know, things that someone who knows things about survival might have in the pockets of their vest.
Yeah, absolutely. So you
Those are going to
put
come in
together your
more
little
handy
vest.
than the guns, I'm sure.
Uh-huh.
This goes.
Absolutely.
You're sort of prepping, and you realize as you're walking around the room that the wastebasket in your room has something in it.
Oh God, it better not be his book. I'll take a look.
It's a book.
Stop it.
It's not a red leather
Okay.
cover.
All right.
It's a sort of a black pleather cover. It appears to be the Gideon Bible that normally you'd expect to be in the.
I just flip through it real quick.
Yeah, of course. You open it up and flip through, and um, your eyes um, fall on a line from one of the chapters, just at random. If you could read that to me.
Oh boy. Oh my God. Wait. So who is saying this? It's the letters.
UOHT.
Yeah. From your first muling to last extremity, a king watches, eyes empty like a newly polished sepulcher, expression indifferent as time. From the King in Yellow Act 2 scene.
Yeah, you sort of flip back and you realize it's Act 2, Scene 1 that you're reading from. And I don't know if you want to read the rest of it tonight, but you have that as an
No, I
option.
feel satisfied with the part that I read.
Okay.
Thanks.
And so yeah, you sort of dump that back in either in the wastebasket or in the drawer by the bedstand.
I'll tuck it into the drawer.
Fantastic. And yeah, you go to sleep for the evening and wait for Charlie to return. Let's see who.
Julio.
I'd like Jacob and Willow. I'd like you both to make luck rolls for me.
Okay.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Oh, come on, luck. Let's see.
Jacob Passion.
Oh, there's luck. Oh, thank you. One of us made it. It's not me.
And we'll wait for.
After that book reading, I'm not feeling as lucky.
Just not quite as lucky.
Not so much.
That's fair. Let's see.
So we're kind of taking a rest and hanging out till we make our trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know if you will, what you'll be up to the next day, but you'll have some time.
Mm-hmm. He says, "You'll have some time."
You'll have some time. What can I say? There'll be some time. All right, there we go. We'll say that is Okay.
Is he still getting ice? Is Jacob still getting ice? Or,
Yeah,
like,
Jacob's still
what's
getting
the-
ice. Yeah.
Okay. I can definitely hear that.
He
I
needs a
imagine.
lot of ice. Yeah, he's just going back and forth.
Keep it cool.
Eke.
Mm.
Oh.
That ice machine makes so much noise. Clunk, clunk,
Clunk,
clunk,
clunk.
clunk.
It's like one ice cube at a time. Clunk, 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 clunk.
That was the best thing to do at the hotel, though, is go find the ice machine.
Oh, absolutely.
The ice vending, right?
The question is whether it has the little plastic bag or if that's too upmarket for the type of motel you're in.
I'm guessing we don't have the plastic bags at our place.
No. Nope.
Just right into that bucket.
Okay, let's see. So I think, let me check these luck roll results. Oh, Willow.
You know, my rolls have been a little rough.
Not ideal.
A little rough around the edges.
That's what I
A
understand.
lot of fumbles. Yeah, not so rock and roll.
What happened? Looks like a mixed bag of luck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jack, if you could give me a... let's see. Hold on. I'm going to tell you exactly what you're going to give me.
Charlie.
Yeah,
Charlie.
you call him Jack.
Charlie. Oh
Oof,
my God, that is
stings.
embarrassing.
Ooh.
I know.
Ugh.
I mean, people in the episode are getting confused as to who I am, and now
And now this.
and now this.
And now this.
What's going on with Murray, man?
Here we go. Charlie, if you could give me a sanity check.
I checked and it's fine.
Is it fine? Let's see.
Luck be a lady tonight.
Yep.
Oh, it's not fine.
No. Jack, you are staying with your girlfriend?
Charlie.
Charlie, God damn it.
It's
Yeah,
certainly
Charlie,
what
you're
Jack
staying with Stella.
Is not staying with Stella.
Yeah, Jack's with Abigail.
God, that'd get weird. Jack shows up.
Jack shows up. It gets awkward.
Oh man.
What the hell's going on here?
Exactly. So you're staying with Stella. Stella, is that?
I was.
You fall asleep for maybe minutes, and you don't realize it actually. What you realize is you were sort of laying in bed next to Stella, and you haven't closed your eyes, but all of a sudden you are back in the Baxter Hotel, and Stella is next to you on that bed, and you can't help but look over at the large curtain that you know is covering the window on the west wall. And you see sort of the moonlight spilling out from underneath the curtain. And you see these rivulets of water dripping out, running from underneath the curtain. And again, you can't help but swing your legs off the bed and move over, look back to Stella, who's just sort of sleeping, turns over in her sleep, very peacefully. You walk the couple of steps over, and you throw open the curtain. And there's this quicksilver-like puddle pooling in the center of the wall. There is no window there. And it's dripping onto the floor, and you feel the wetness between your toes. And on the other side of this murky water, you see an out-of-focus hotel room, like yours, but older. Ripples and wobbles, like you're viewing it from the bottom of a pool. And you see a leather suitcase lying flipped open on one of the beds, the telephone, old and tall and bell-shaped, and the security message on the back of the room's door has a single large word at the top. Rodelbin. And you're standing there watching, and you see and hear the rattling of the doorknob to that door on the other side. And you realize whoever's staying in this room is coming back in. And you look over and you see a typewriter sitting on the desk. A number of cream-colored pages sort of scattered around and crumpled on the floor. You hear them sort of rattling at the door, but then you realize it's your door, your hotel room. They're rattling, and you look back over, and you feel like you know that it's Michael. It's Vega. He's trying to come back to the room where you are, and he can't get back in. And like that, you awake sort of screaming. Maybe you've been asleep for minutes at most. You awake sort of thrashing, screaming with night terrors in this bed next to Stella, and she is like completely thrown off by it. What's going on? What's going on? Oh my God, Charlie, are you okay? Are you okay, Charlie? And it takes moments before the adrenaline tapers off, and you realize there's going to be no sleep for you tonight. So.
All right. So I'll try and get her to go back to sleep and just explain that it was a nightmare, but try and get her to go to sleep, and then once she sleeps, I'll like slip out the door.
Yeah, you had picked up some, I don't know, some sort of sedatives or sleeping pills at some point that you had run out of sort of days ago. Yeah, Downas. You could try to get some more of those if you wanted, but you also know you're going to be potentially driving tomorrow, so who knows? Your choice.
Operating firearms tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Take a heavy trank.
Don't trank yourself.
Charlie, don't trank yourself.
Charlie.
Charlie, don't trank yourself.
Think me and my
Alright,
underwear
so-
can save us all?
Yeah. All
I'll
right.
just, what I'll do is I'll like go bring all the guns inside into the living room, start cleaning them out, like go through the process, like it's sort of meditative where at least I'll calm down while fixing the guns up until maybe till dawn.
Yeah, that's great. That's perfect, actually, Charlie. And maybe you have the local stations on at some point when dawn is getting close, and you put on the local news. And it's the same old stuff for the most part, until in the midst of one of the sort of like early morning programs, there is a news alert.
Mm-mm.
And you see that there is a report. Coming into WBZ News, we have a report that there are some, looks like escaped patients of the Dorchester House, considered dangerous, having violently assaulted multiple staff members of the institution. Have their names here. It looks like a Charlie Croker, Willow Barnett, Jacob Hess. The names, the ages that are given are accurate. And photos as well. You can't help but notice, as you're sort of standing there, you're sort of just sitting there agape, that each of the photos, both of you and your new compatriots, each of you are sort of standing with an empty expression, just staring at the camera, wearing normal clothing. And you notice that in each photo, each of you appears to be like holding something. You can't quite tell. It looks like the photographs have been cropped. But you tell, at least in yours, that it looks like the neck of a bottle sort of poking up from the bottom a bit. You don't recall taking that particular photo, but it appears real and recent. You could make a sanity check for me.
What happens if you stay up all night?
Breaking news.
Like every time that I talk, it flashes breaking news. I don't know, it entertains me.
1 point of sanity lost for that.
What time is this? He's seeing the...
It's like the 4 a.m. news.
Yeah, 4 or 5 a.m.
Oof, okay. Is Jacob still getting ice, or...?
No, Jacob stopped getting ice, which allowed you finally to get sleep. But he is snoring quite loudly
Oh, good, okay.
through the walls. No, you're blissfully asleep, Willow and Jacob. Yeah.
I mean, we'll take it while we can get it, I guess.
But yes, the state police are indicating that the suspects potentially, certainly dangerous. And no mention, by the way, of law enforcement status or sort of employment status on the part of Jacob or Willow. And it appears like there is any information, a tip line's been opened.
We're all against this man. Everyone's out to get us. Man.
So Charlie, you're the only one who's awake at this point. What do you...
I call up, I'll call Jacob.
Right away, like you see this and you're like,
yeah,
get on nowhere.
Hey, there's an APB for all three of us, if I can get them awake.
Yeah, it's a great question. Jacob, make a luck roll. Or, yeah. Let's see, what would be... Alertness roll. Obviously, alertness roll.
One moment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Hold, please.
Hold, please. Yeah, you get his voicemail.
All right, I'll try Willow.
Willow, alertness check, please.
Alertness, of course. I'm nothing if not alert. Am I? I mean, like, there's a chance. But no. Okay.
Voicemail.
I feel like maybe there's like a glitch here in roll 20.
Failure, 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 failure.
Fumble.
I-
Failure. Fumble.
To the extent I was developing any bonds with these jerks
These individuals.
who sleep at will,
Yep.
definitely stopped right there when
Yeah.
I realized they were sleeping through.
You know where they're staying. They told you that much.
Yeah. So I carefully place all the guns I think we need under a blanket in the trunk of the Altima and drive their way.
See, now's when you wish you had taken the disguise, like I told you to. No, I'm joking. Charlie,
Yeah, it's about to be time
disguise.
for some disguises. Yes.
Big hats.
I've been waiting for it.
So yeah, Charlie, you drive over to this motel, sort of outskirts of He paints his face red, first of all. Yes.
Nobody will be able to
Perfect.
recognize.
It's perfect, just cosplay.
We
And
don't have any hats in the office here, do we?
there's one hat there. Do you see it?
Oh, okay. All right. Keep going.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. So you get there and you know what rooms they're in, so you're able to go there. And I'll say that if you
I feel like that would have the opposite effect. Like, everybody look at me.
I'm blending in.
she's blending in.
Okay. Sorry. Please continue.
So yes, you're able to rouse them both at this point in person. They will wake to you.
I'm not too gentle or kind
No.
about it.
Why didn't you call first?
4 missed calls.
Oh no.
Oh, really?
Charlie Croker.
What's these eyes?
Put on the do not disturb.
I don't have him
Willow had the
saved
do
in
not
my
disturb
phone.
on. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
have him saved. It's just like unknown number.
Yeah,
No number.
He goes to voicemail because he's not on the
Yeah, the approved callers list. Yeah.
That's right.
I
exactly.
suspect
Thank
it's
you.
spam.
Oh, you both filtered me. I like grabbed their phones. And
Yeah.
now we're
And
best friends.
yeah, what is it? The 911 emergency contact. You put yourself in as
Right.
as that.
He's my ICE, my ICE.
That's right.
All right, we're awake.
You're awake.
Fine.
You were aware. Charlie informs you that yes, there is in fact a APB or a alert
least
that has gone
warrants or
out.
something,
Yeah,
right.
warrants of some sort that you don't know if it's Dr. Dolan. You don't know who or what it is, but that.
So we've established that we can like search the internet at this point, right?
Oh yeah, the internet is a thing.
It's 2015.
Okay, it's been a long,
been a long
6 years. So I want to do a quick
You've
search.
already hit the age where you're befuddled by the internet.
So what is this technology? I do want to do a quick search maybe for my own name. That would be my first,
Yep.
to sort of see what results I get.
The typical Google yourself.
Yeah, Google
I'm gonna
yourself.
Get my MySpace page will come
Right.
up first. Okay.
There's the
All right.
interview you did with the Park Service of like, what is
That's
it
right.
like to
I
work
was
with the
employee
Park
of the month
Service? Right.
once. Yep.
So hit, all from within a couple hours. Local Boston news. Name pops up as this manhunt for violent escaped patients.
Oh my god. Okay. This is bad news.
Hearing this, Jacob goes to the bathroom and takes out a razor,
Mm-hmm.
says, "Goodbye, old friend," and shaves off his soup catcher mustache.
Oh, no more disguise is needed. Just that weak lip. Just that sad little lip hanging out there.
Exactly.
Freshly shorn. Bright pink from the bad razor.
Soup catcher no more.
Soup catcher no more. Charlie has his costume. He is a Yoshi, and cannot be
The only
recognized.
thing I had at hand. Sorry.
Willow's gonna chop at her hair.
I was not prepared for the Yoshi.
Benjamin will kill me if I stretch that out.
Yeah, you better. It's gonna be loose on his head. He's gonna be like, "Dada, what's going on?" Yes. So, so Charlie, you you may or may not have thought about how you might change your appearance, but then again, it may not matter. I mean,
I took out a gun. I'm like, this is the only disguise I need.
Boom.
there you go. That's that local
Right, that's not
Boston
Charlie's thing,
bravado.
really.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Willow has a large hat, just a big hat. Nobody can look at anything else except that hat.
It's just like the eyes go straight to the hat, and so
Right.
they don't see anything else.
Yeah, maybe that's been Charlie's problem. He's just wearing too big of a hat.
It might be.
Yeah.
He hasn't considered that yet, but I'll point to it.
Nobody can look at his face.
Right. The nose just sort of blocks the whole
Just, I know, you just got to angle
Wait,
it
give
just
us
right.
the profile again one more time.
Oh yeah.
So,
Alyssa
okay.
needs to look so she can buy that.
I'm like, it really is warm though.
Um,
That's
so
amazing.
so yeah, you're starting off the day. You may or may not want to take advantage of the free continental breakfast buffet. But
back to Duncan's.
back to Duncan's. That's right. Nobody will harass you at Duncan's. But
They don't have a TV on at the Dunks, do they? Right? That's not like a TV thing.
They probably would.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The old ones. Yeah, they always have it up. The tiny
Yeah,
That's right,
local news.
yeah.
TV in the corner.
Exactly.
I mean, Jacob's not going to pass up free food, so even without a mustache.
He's just gonna wander out in his in the bathrobe to grab some of the pop-up waffles and head back.
Exactly.
Assured now that the lack of mustache will see him through. So yes. So what do you all plan to do for this day you have?
Yikes.
I think we should hide out, man. We'll get out of the hotel and skedoodle.
Go where? Where can we hide?
I don't know, go somewhere near Uxbridge, but not
Like,
Uxbridge.
case the check it out a couple hours in advance.
Yeah.
Uxbridge is less populated anyway, so it'll be a little safer than hanging out in Dorchester.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, should we just get on the road?
Get on the road. Yep. So you pile in the Ultima. Bring along a bunch of as many Yoplait yogurts as you can grab from the continental
Yoplait Light.
breakfast.
Some room temperature oatmeal.
Some room temperature oatmeal. Some waffles that are on the frozen side of still being cooked. And yeah, you head out for the drive down toward Uxbridge. And you're listening to the radio until the sort of news comes on, and there's a little alert about you, and I'm not sure who's in who would change it first, whether it's Charlie as the driver or whoever's in the passenger seat, but you sort of click it off, and you're just sort of driving for a while south. And it takes about an hour 20, some of the morning traffic. And you you start to get close, and you realize that this mall, the Trivolino, is surrounded by marshland. just off the state highway. And there is an exit you can take that sort of heads in that direction, and you realize you can sort of just pull. You can pull into the parking lot. There is, it's worth noting, at the area, it's very isolated. But the turnpike is heavily trafficked. Like, there's plenty of traffic going by, but there's nothing else for kilometers except this sort of undeveloped marshland. And the sign for the mall is still there, 3 stories tall, topped with this large billboard that reads Trivellino Mall, next to this white and black image of what looks to be sort of a theater mask. The sign, theater mask, yeah. The store signs beneath the Trivellino Mall have all been removed, so there are these sort of gaps. And there's this little ladder running up the stand, this enormous sort of pylon for the sign, leading up to the sign. Maybe some minor graffiti on the post. But you pull up and you realize all of the store names have been removed. You can still see some of the outlines, like Sears used to be here. All those signs have disappeared. You're there in an empty parking lot.
What time did we make it?
So I mean, it's very early at this point. It's like 8 or 9 a.m.
Is there like a Subway sandwich shop around?
You would have to drive maybe to the next exit. And you're sort of cruising around, and you realize that there's this fence that sort of abuts the high grasses, the marshland, and some areas in the fence that have been sort of opened or like peeled away. The fence is sort of in disrepair. And you do see off in the distance, like maybe the next exit down across a bunch of marsh. There's maybe another sort of strip mall or something. Maybe you do see a Subway sandwich sign there, but you also realize you could, maybe it's more for Charlie. You realize with your criminology, even as exhausted as you are, you realize that if you were staking this place out or like planning a heist or a job, you'd obviously not like leave your car here. And if you were actually like gonna hit the place, you would leave your car down an exit and like come across the marsh to get here, to make it less obvious that you were here.
Yeah, so I would drive around the mall. If we don't have specific directions, if it's just to meet up at the mall, then I would, I guess.
Yeah, let's say maybe in the instructions it said south entrance, and so you realize that sort of the south entrance, it's on sort of one of the far side areas over near the food, what used to be the food court.
Right. So what I would do is try to think of where Handsome Rob would park to be the quick getaway, and I mean, he's the one that thinks of that, but try to pick where I think it'd be easiest to maybe cut across the shortest path through the marsh to be able to jump in the car and go. And we park the car there. We still have some time though before that starts, so I think we could drive around, maybe see if there are any cameras, spotting the exterior, look for any easy to get in, see if there's any obvious unlocked doors, like things like that. case the joint a little bit thoroughly since we're there.
Yeah, so you a couple things. One is you realize there's probably like some sort of utility building or something off a little distance from this south entrance where you feel like if you tucked the car behind there, it wouldn't be obvious. Like if somebody drove around and like really extensively searched, they would obviously see the car there. But if somebody was to drive into the parking lot, was to like come over to this entrance, you could have the car on the far side of this utility building. It'd be like a sprint to get from the entrance to that building where the car was, but you would be out of view. And you also see there's sort of an area where the fence is in disrepair, relatively close, where you feel like you could get across. You are also thinking about it, and you're like, if you really wanted to watch, as you're sort of thinking, again, using your criminal spidey sense, the Maul sign has this high angle view on 3 of the 4 entrances, including the south entrance. So somebody like up there could see down across the majority of the parking lot and entrances.
So, I mean, if we're going to be there for a while, maybe that's where I'll go for the short term, unless we have something better to do. Obviously, we're going to break for lunch because we don't really starve ourselves in this group.
$5 footlongs are still a thing at this point.
Yeah.
$5 foot.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I'll climb up there and take a look. Put my phone out. I'll have maybe whatever my best sort of longer distance gun is, rifle, and sort of keep a patient watch for a while.
Yeah. So you go over. You get sandwiches to last you for most of the day. Maybe you just kind of stock up on baked chips and bottled drinks and Snapple. Sponsored by Snapple, and you you situate the car. You one of you at least you sort of seeing. Jacob and Willow, you can tell me what you guys are doing, but Charlie, you sort of get the car in the right position, and then you're walking back over to where the sign is, with your little plastic bag of sandwiches and drinks, but then also you don't have a rifle, but you do have the handgun. You take maybe 1 or 2 of those, and leave the others with Willow and Jacob. And I'm not even going to make you. Yes.
Sorry, I thought you said I had some handguns and
handguns and
shotgun.
Handguns and a shotgun. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Yep.
And you manage to go over and with your lock picking. Go ahead and roll your lock picking for me.
Oh, it's the
craft, I think. Yeah, there we are. So you very easily pop the heavy lock, blocking access to the ladder. And this ladder leads up to a small utility room, sort of inside the billboard. And by removing one of the sort of plastic outer panels inside that utility room, you have a very clear view. And if you had a long-range weapon, you'd have a clear line of fire on anyone in the parking lot. and you're able to stay there for a while. Jacob and Willow, I'll just say, you
Hiding
know,
in the woods.
what's that?
Hiding in the woods.
You're in the woods. You're hanging out in the marsh.
Marsh.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie, on your way over, you could have you maybe jiggled the locks. Like the doors to the mall, like the south entrance, were you had a chain around them and a heavy padlock. You also saw like some old stickers slapped up on the windows, indicated some sort of like radon issue.
Oh, swell. Well, then maybe that's why it why it
Nice.
closed. But so maybe I would try to pick one of those. Pick up the likely entrance closest to where the car is, and try and get that set up for. Even though it's going to be a few hours, why not? Have that as a possible. If people arrive, we could sprint into the. If nowhere else, we could sprint into the mall and.
Yeah. So I think we'll say that you are. And Willow, are you just kind of hanging out?
Yeah, I mean, generally, I'm apprehensive.
Is she fishing in the marsh? Maybe she's putting.
Yeah, the fishing line. That's right. We have the fishing line. Lure from the vest.
That's right. I'm doing a little bit of casting a line here. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm hanging back a little. I'm feeling cautious.
Yeah.
So I'm not marching right in there, but I did pack my fishing vest, so that's definitely going to come in handy.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So you are. I think we'll sort of work on this. That Charlie, you're up in this perch, and it's maybe gotten to be sort of mid-afternoon at this point, assuming you're sort of staking it out and just hanging there. Are you doing anything with your phone? Are you just sort of watching?
I feel like, well, maybe texting a little bit.
Yeah.
With Stella, I guess, but also just trying to keep watch. I'm sort of used to this sort of casing places before, robbing or whatever. So I'm used to the rhythm of that and trying to be more watchful.
Yeah, so a few things happen at once. The first is that Jacob, you get a call from.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
What's that?
Ring-a-ding-ding.
Ring-a-ding-ding. You get a call. You recognize it's from that contact, that sort of senior manager who you had been interacting with before, who had indicated you'd be back in the office. He had that report. He calls up and he says, Jacob, and in the background there's loud noise in the background, which is very unusual for sort of a staid UN State Department offices, sort of a hubbub of voices in the background. He's like, Jacob, people are asking when you're going to be here, when you're coming back.
What kind of people are asking? Like just the office?
No, and he laughs. Everyone here is asking. Come on, and you hear like the faint, like wisps of music in the background, and maybe even a horn, like a
Party horn?
Yeah, little party horn.
Like a toot.
Look
It's
at
a
you.
vuvuzela.
It's a vuvuzela, yeah.
I'll be there soon.
Oh, good, good. Everyone's waiting for you, man. I tell you, we can't wait for you to get here. And there's the noise picks up, and you realize that it's like laughter and the sound of clinking drinks and somebody you clearly gets close and he's like, oh, it's almost time, and the person, oh, okay, I gotta go, but we really can't wait. Please come soon. And just as you sort of are anticipating the disconnect, in the background you hear someone cry out, unmask, unmask, and a roar goes up in the crowd, unmask, and click. And
Sorry, dude.
meanwhile, Willow, you get a message.
Oh no.
It says from Bibliophile 99.
Oh, I've just been so eager to hear from my friend.
And it's a message, and it says, you wanted me to tell you what you missed. And there is a video file.
Oh no.
8 minutes and 30 seconds long. That
Oh no.
shows up.
It's the worst possible outcome.
And it appears to show video of a middle-aged woman, nondescript, in an apartment, showing them from a fisheye angle, in this apartment near a computer. And for a minute or two, just showing them sort of sitting, like surfing the internet, humming, like pulling up this literary website that you belong to, this forum. And then this person, presumably Bibliophile 99, sort of gets up with an empty cup, heads nearby. You see a light go on in the kitchen. You presume it's a kitchen. And a moment later, a dozen sort of slight figures wearing dark clothing like rush in from off camera. You can't make out their faces, but they rush into the room and they begin moving furniture around and like items out of the view of the camera. And at the 5-minute 11 mark, the room is empty. And then the lights go out and a gong sounds. And the drum beat begins. And the lights go back up. And a tall figure dressed in gold crosses into the room, left to right, toward the kitchen, moving off. You hear the drums reach a crescendo. Right before there's the sound of a glass shattering, and the video stops. You try to play the file again, but it doesn't. It seems as if it's been corrupted. And Charlie, you are up on your phone. You've been messaging back and forth with Stella. All of a sudden you get an unexpected error message. Email failed to send. Email failed to send. And you're like, what the heck is this? Like, you haven't been emailing, you've been texting, doing some other things. You open up your drafts folder, and you see that there's an email addressed to Stella. And there's a picture connected to it. And the subject line is, have you seen this? And you open up the picture, and it's 5 pages that have been captured by camera phone of the King in Yellow, the red book that you're holding on to. And you check your sent folder, and you see that there are numerous other emails that have been sent to Stella and her father and others you know, including a message that has been sent to someone you don't recognize, somebody by the name of Jack, and to Ava Lundeen and a number of other people whose names you don't recognize.
Murray.
Murray. No. You do also one that's sent to an online print shop asking about pricing for posters and apparel. And you have no recollection of sending any of these. And just as all of this is happening, Charlie, you're sort of distracted because there's a white van that's pulled in to the Trivellino Mall parking lot that is swinging wide around toward the south entrance. And we'll go ahead and pause there with these.
Well, I try and send as many emails back, at least to the girlfriend and the father, saying my email's hacked. Ignore it.
It's right. It's Russian spam.
Yeah.
Delete all of it.
Do not open. Exactly.
Russian World War I spam? Is that
right? Yeah. Russian World War I spam. That's a thing. Yeah, I mean, Willow, you don't even know what Bibliophile 99
have quite a
looks
lot
like.
of scanned people those days. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, on that
We've been busy, huh? Oof.
on that sinister note, I will.
Okay.
We'll leave it there, and we'll pick up with the rest of the Trivellino Mall encounter.
I feel like these scary elements were busier than we were. Really, we're just sort of waiting around, waiting for nighttime. That's all closing in on us.
It's happening. It's happening.
At the mall.
At the mall.
Everybody's waiting for us.
Everyone's waiting for you. You don't want to be late. That's the
Guys,
thing.
the only way out is through?
Question mark?
Are we going to convince ourselves that it's actually the right thing to do?
Yeah, this is a tough one. Oof, okay. Well, it's about to go down at the mall.
It's about to go downtown.
Going to the mall.
There isn't even a Claire's or an Orange
Like a
Julius
Foot Locker?
or a Foot Locker.
Hot Topic.
Spencer's.
What about a Suncoast? That was always my favorite.
Suncoast Video, right.
2015 is still not far back enough.
Okay, you know what? It feels like a really long time ago.
You're like, I spend the afternoon at the Blockbuster. It's awesome.
Going through the CDs.
Remember CD-ROMs?
Going to CompUSA.
I have my information saved on a floppy disk. It's 2015 after all. We're going back.
That's right.
I think it's just very much this thing we're doing that we're not really sure what the technology was in 2015. Really wasn't that important because time is malleable, right?
Right, exactly. You're gonna be playing the Victrola before too long, so.
I must have some kind of iPod on me at this point, right?
Some sort of iPod.
A Nano? Was that happening in 2015?
2015.
I think you had a full-fledged
An iPhone. Like you could have an iPhone. Maybe you're anti-technology rangers. You're like, guys, I got an iPod.
My current iPhone is probably from 2015.
My lack of technological understanding.
Excellent.
We're really throwing it back.
That's right. To 2015. Well,
Elvis was at the top of the charts.
Beatlemania was raging across the nation.
And with that, friends.
And with that, Snapple was the most popular drink in America.
Still.
Sponsored by Snapple.
That's right.
All right.
I'm gonna go scare Rosario.
Please.
Fantastic.
So good.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks,
Take
everyone.
care.